Stop overthinking vtubing. I think this is going to be an interesting video, and I think it's going to be great advice. I skimmed through bits of it, and I'm like, oh yeah, let's go ahead and check this out. I think it's a good conversation to have. So let's go. Oh, stop overthinking vtubing by Cozy.
There's an overarching theme that I've noticed for a lot of the content that I've been making on this channel recently. I think a lot of it ends up boiling down to the idea that you can be whatever you want to be. You shouldn't really keep in mind what other people are trying to make you do or what other people might think about what you want to do or stuff like that.
That's
And I
real.
think this is something that really needs to be said to a lot of content creators as they're doing their thing, as they're trying to grow. I think it's something that recently I've been actually embracing for myself. Don't overthink your
Good.
content is something that a lot of people say, but it's really hard to figure out what that actually means. A
You
lot of
here
the
to break
time
it
when,
down?
when somebody tells you, oh, don't overthink it, oh, just do what you want, follow your passions, whatever the heck, let's be real, when you're looking into actually trying to follow your passions or trying to do the things that you want, you might not be getting many views. You might not be, finding the
It's
audience
going
that
to
you
take
need to
time.
find. You might not be getting to the point that you want to be in content creation. And
Yeah.
someone just telling you, oh, don't overthink it, oh, just do what you want, isn't helpful in that case. Because when someone says that, it kind of is just, it feels like it's a catch all. It feels like it's something that somebody will just say to get you off their backs and to not give you any real advice about content creation. It's not
Hmm.
that easy. Maybe
Bro, that's actually a interesting take. I'd never ever thought of it from that perspective. Let's keep going.
you don't have the luxury of doing what you want. Maybe you've hit a niche already. You already have a lot of numbers in one specific thing, and
Hmm.
you feel like if you restart, if you try something new, you're probably going to lose that audience. And in a lot
Maybe
of
you
cases,
might.
you're right. You
Yeah.
probably will lose that audience. I don't
I think before we continue, I think you should be willing to jump into that void of unknown anyway. Comfortability is the things that keep you from being creative and it keeps you from expanding. You want to do this, but you feel like you're stuck in this. If you're stuck here or you stay here, sure, you're comfortable. You might be getting the numbers or maybe the numbers are even going up. And to try and say, hey, let's take a risk and do something else. I mean, I commend people for doing it because life in itself is just an unknown journey. Nobody knows where they're going to go or where they're going to head, but you need to be brave enough to even do it. Hell, if you are being a VTuber, you're literally in the middle of something that's new. So yeah, you should be like, okay, cool. Things I want to do it my way, but I want to be a VTuber. That's still niche. It's still new. It's still unknown. It's not in the super mainstream. So you are still taking a chance, but if you want to try doing something else, I'd say go for it, personally.
don't think that it's necessarily good advice to just say, do what you want or don't overthink it. But I think that there is something to the idea of not overthinking your content too much. And I'll tell
Yeah,
you right
you
now,
shouldn't.
I think that because of this channel. I started this channel only 3 weeks ago or something like that now,
Nice.
and I've already surpassed 1,300 followers, and I
No,
have been getting thousands of views on my videos, and a
no.
lot of it is just me ranting into the abyss. It's a lot of just like getting on a camera and just starting to talk, and I don't even script it, and I
Good.
don't put that much editing work behind it. There's not a lot of effort
It's
being
just
put
you.
into these videos versus the things that I've been doing for years. There's still a lot of thought behind it. I don't
Okay.
think that saying don't overthink your content means don't think about it at all.
Of
I've thought
course
about
not.
this stuff a lot.
Mm,
I've thought about what kind of topics I want to do. I have a whole list of them. I
nice.
think about how I want to talk about a topic before I actually start talking.
Okay.
I try and think about how I want to present things, what I do and don't want to talk about, what kinds of themes.
And these are important thoughts to have. Whenever it is you're trying to create something for yourself and you want to do something specific, yeah, you should have a couple pointers here and here. This is what I want to do with it. This is what I don't want to do with it. This is what I want to make sure I focus on. Yeah, 100%. That comes with the planning phase of enacting any plan that you have. And these things are important versus just jumping into the deep end and say, fuck it, YOLO.
I want to approach. I thought about the fact that I was gonna make this channel instead of putting it on my main channel because I didn't think that the audiences would match. I didn't
Okay.
think that putting these videos on a channel that was dedicated to me live streaming games all the time was gonna be something that worked. So there was still a lot of thought that went behind this channel and the decisions that, I made because of this channel. But that's in contrast to the types of thoughts that I was having before.
Mm.
For
Before you
instance,
take the
I
shot.
don't
Yeah.
think that having a lot of like really, interesting philosophical sort of opinions like this is something that a lot of VTubers like. I don't think that this is something that the community really enjoys.
And I would say from the time that I've been in here, I would say there is an audience for it. And I think that you are filling that audience. There's an audience for absolutely everything. And just because the majority of people are watching hee hee ha ha videos, that doesn't mean there aren't people that are willing to listen to things that are deeper than just LMAO, Lamau, right? So there's definitely an audience for it. And I think that you're growing that audience. And I commend you for doing so. You are taking the steps to grow the audience. I'm just here to help explain and say it out loud like, yeah, what you're doing is actually good. Cozy, what you're doing is helpful and it's beneficial to the VTuber community as a whole. You're giving people the avenue to talk about things deeper than just the stuff they saw on Twitter yesterday. So yes, I would say you're doing a great job and you're building that avenue of success, especially for other people that also want to talk about the same thing. I'm pretty sure there's several VTubers that want to talk about more meaningful and deep things, but they don't really know how to go about it. Even if they really are super successful in what they do now, maybe it's ASMR or whatever, right? They enjoy that, but they want to do something else. They want to do something different, but they're already successful in that. Yeah, you're giving an avenue for people to think deeply. I think that's amazing, and I think you should keep doing it.
And I feel like having these kind of discussions is scary because a lot of
It is
people
scary. It's
will write you
unknown.
off as soon as you start talking about your opinions on a lot of subjects. This is
That's true
something that I've
too. That's
noticed
just
like across
life.
the board with VTubing. VTubing in general is something where people want to escape from real life, and if you do anything that is related to talking about like something real, something behind the scenes,
Something
something
based.
that breaks the immersion, then you're going to get some people who dislike you for that.
100% because it's also going to change the community and change the sphere. But life changes, and that's the thing a lot of people are trying to escape from. That life is changing. Life is always going to change, no matter what thing you jump into. Video games used to not be as political, but now the politics are at the forefront, and I think that's what scares a lot of people is completely breaking the immersion. Right? I feel like there definitely needs to be an avenue and space for just entertainment, just for enjoyment, right? That's why you have Hollow Live. The girls are playing games and they're singing and they're dancing and they're having fun, right? Not a lot of them would really touch on politics. Not a lot of content creators in general would touch on politics. 100%. I'm not saying every person should, but there also is an avenue for people that want to talk about these things. And it's up to us, the community that wants to talk about it because when we talk about it, that makes more people listen that are actually interested. If people aren't interested in having a deep conversation, they're going to tune it out, right? There's the unicorns, right? The unicorns that are in Hololive, they act like Hollow Stars doesn't exist. They have three posts a day on 4chan about how the newest what's her name? I can't remember her name. Blood Flame. How Blood Flame, when she talks to the Hollow Stars, they don't like her. So she gets like 3 posts a day on 4chan about how much they don't like her. Yeah, there's gonna be people that don't like things that change. They're gonna ignore things that are changing around them. That's what they want to do. That shouldn't stop us from doing what we want to do. You picking up what I'm putting down? I hope so.
So I thought about that before. I
Mm,
also thought about things like I don't think the VTubers do a lot of these videos, and I don't know if they'll work. I thought about things like You know, usually I'm supposed to be doing karaoke streams and like playing
Okay.
games and like
Okay.
I'm supposed to be a
The
cute anime
niche.
girl.
Yeah, yeah.
But
The mold. Staying in the
I
mold.
I stopped thinking about that stuff. I stopped caring about
Okay.
that stuff, about what people would perceive as my content or like how they would look at me for creating this kind of stuff.
That's big.
And I just did it. I decided that there was
Good.
something that I was going to do. I decided there was something I wanted to do. And on a whim, I just did it. I
Hell
decided
yeah.
one day I want to make videos. I made the channel that day. Within the next like couple of like week, I think a week or two or something like that, I put out my first video. I said that I was probably going to take a while to come up with more videos, but I decided on a whim that I didn't feel like streaming, really. I wanted to make video content, and that was like my new
Respect.
hyperfixation, and
Respect.
I
Respect.
just did it. I just
Good.
started making
And
things
she
and
did it.
putting them out there, and people started liking them, and people started watching them, and I've continued
Good.
on for the last couple of weeks with it, and I'm happy with what I've been doing, and I have
Good.
more ideas for other things that I want to do, and more shifts that I want to make with my own content.
You can do it too. The content creators that are watching this, you guys can also do it too. It just takes the bravery to do it. You just step into the unknown. Cozy didn't know what she was doing was going to work. I didn't even know who Cozy was. And now here I am. I'm like, oh, dude, a Cozy upload. We're going to talk about deeper things in the VTuber community. Perfect, right? So there's definitely an audience, me, you, and there's definitely people that are willing to create the content. You, me. Yeah, we could talk about it. We can create content about it and we can grow the conversation around it. Whatever it is, the sub niche inside the niche that might be philosophical conversations. Cool. Why can't it exist? It absolutely can exist. And it should.
Because I just went for it. I didn't think about how people were going to look down on me for doing it. I didn't think about
That's fear.
all of
That's
the people
doubt.
that I had seen before who had talked shit about people who were just stating their opinions, who were saying that they were like going wild and stuff like that, just for saying like a normal take, like a normal lukewarm take.
Saying a take that's outside of the ordinary.
I didn't think about those people anymore. I stopped thinking about that. I stopped thinking about how, you know, agencies might see me. I stopped thinking about how
Okay, if we're
I
not going
might
for
have
agencies, who
people
cares?
who are, you know, disagreeing with me or thinking that I'm stupid for making these kind
You
of
know
things.
what?
Or
If anything, there's room for an agency to have people that talk about these things. Now, of course, that's a way bigger risk. And I think it will take a very strong community for anything like that to happen or to succeed. But I am 100% down for it, personally speaking.
who might, you know, not like my opinions in general and start like
It is what
hating
it
on
is.
me or etc.
It is
I
what it
stopped
is.
thinking about that sort of stuff and I just started
Living
making
your
things
life. You
for
started
me.
living your
This is
life.
not something that came without any sacrifice.
Oh,
I have
100%.
noticed a massive drop on my main YouTube channel in income, and that's my
Oof.
main income source. So
For now,
I took a risk and I did lose money from it.
of course.
But I think that that's fine. I think that if I'm happy with what I'm doing and I'm actually like being true to myself and what kind of things I want to create,
Good things will
I
come.
think that's good. I think that's
Good
better.
things will
And
absolutely
I think that
follow.
I can regain it. I can get back to a place where I am doing good and I am, you know, financially stable enough. I think that taking these kind of risks with content and experimenting and doing new things is a really good thing. And I think that if you don't do this kind of thing on YouTube, then you're probably going to stagnate and you're going to end up like a bunch of older YouTubers who kind of just are stuck in the same content, the same safe content that they've been making for a decade now. And if you get
Yes. You guys have to expand. You got to try something, especially if you feel like you have to try something new. If you're looking at your uploads and you're just like, man, even though the numbers are good, I'm not feeling it. Change something else, bro. I've even went back and I looked at my old videos from like when I first jumped into the VTuber community in my old house. And I'm like, yeah, those were fun times. And then there was a part where I was like, yeah, even though these videos are doing like they look good, I'm like, I don't know. I feel like I've just changed. And as you change, your content should change. You know, if your content stays the same, you probably just, I mean, no, I'm just gonna keep that take for myself. I'm gonna keep that opinion to myself. I don't want to hurt people's feelings, but if you're looking at your upload and you're just like, yeah, it's gonna do views, but I'm not really satisfied with it. Maybe try something else. Maybe. I'm not here
Stuck
to tell
in
you what
this
you should
loop
do with
of
your
what is
life.
safe for you to create, then eventually people will leave anyways because they'll get bored. I mean, at some
That's true.
point, like
People will
how
grow up and
many
change.
times can you go and just watch like me, like an alpaca girl, play Neopets? Or like how many times can
Some people can watch it all day.
you watch somebody
Not
play
everybody.
the Elden Ring DLC? How many times can you go
That's
to
why I'm on
someone's
Borderlands
stream and
3.
just consume that kind of content without any differences in it?
Mm.
And it's all just the same kind of VTuber thing over and over and over again. It gets boring after a while, and I
For
think
some.
that
For others, it's the greatest
I
shit
hit the
ever.
point where I was getting bored of my own content, even though I mean I still
That's
enjoyed
big.
it. It's not like I was creating things that I wasn't happy with. I was still happy with my own content. I could still watch my own content. I was fine with it, but I was fine with it, right? I wasn't happy necessarily. I wasn't
You
sitting
were
there like really
comfortable.
excited to do these streams. It was more like, I've got a stream today. I'm going to do this today. It'll be fun. And
Routine.
I did have a lot of
Comfort.
fun with it,
Mm.
but it
You can
wasn't
definitely have fun with it.
something
Yeah.
that excited me. It
It
wasn't
didn't
something that
fulfill you.
I had to be up at it's almost 4 in the morning right now
Good morning.
recording a video
That's
because
big.
I just really wanted to do it and get it out there, you know?
Good.
So I think
Good.
honestly that's more of what I want to say here.
Mm.
If you want to make something, if you want to do something different, if you want to be something different, or if you want to change or anything like that, I think it's worth it to consider experimenting. I don't think you should be overthinking every single thing like, "Oh, what will this do to my analytics? What will this do with my content? Will
Just think
VTuber
about it a
fans even
bit.
enjoy this?" and stuff like that. You're never going to know
You're never gonna
unless you
exactly, exactly. Outweigh the pros and cons, but at the end of the day, you still got to make that decision.
do it, unless you actually go for it, and unless you put it out there to the world to see if they like it,
Yep.
to see what they think. And I think that that's something that a lot of content creators lack. They have issues with because just imagine the amount of people, I mean, you may be one of them, who went through all of the motions of a debut as a VTuber. Imagine all of the people who had like a checklist of things that you needed. You need a lore video, you need to have a live 2D model, you need to do the thing where you go
Their
from the feet
expectations.
down and you showcase the model. Maybe you did that reveal thing where you do enough retweets to reveal the model first. Maybe you did a voice reveal. Maybe you did a cover song. All of that stuff is traditional, and it's stuff that a lot of people feel like they have to do with VTubing, but you don't have to do anything. You don't have to do
That's true. You don't have to.
literally any of it. You don't have to
You can do whatever
follow
you
some
want to
sort
do,
of
to be honest.
trajectory that's
Yes.
already been pre-planned for you. You can do anything.
True.
It's your content, and you can
Yes.
make whatever you want of it. Even if people don't like that, even if you might be like fighting against people the whole way, if you're enjoying what you're creating, you should create it.
That's the most important part. Just enjoy what you're making. Try not to get too stressed when it comes to the debut, the cover song. There's a difference between people that want to create these things versus people that think it's expected of them and then they just follow the motion. You gotta just enjoy what you're doing at the end of the day. If you enjoy what you're doing, especially when it comes to creating something and uploading it for the world, you'll just find people that resonate with whatever it is that you're creating. And if you're creating it from the heart, well, there's no reason why it should fail. That's my opinion anyway.
You should become your own favorite content creator, no matter what that is, and no
That's
matter
big.
what that means.
That's
And
big.
just to keep this
That's
in
big.
line with what I was saying about me noticing a trend in my videos, just go through them and think about that. Like, Maybe that means not following idol culture. Maybe that
Maybe,
means not joining an agency. Maybe that
maybe,
means not caring about ever joining an agency. Maybe that
maybe,
means not worrying about who is your friend or who you can collab with. Maybe that means not
maybe,
worrying about what you should be as a VTuber. Maybe that means not
maybe.
caring about what people think, even if they think bad things
You hear
about
all
you.
these maybes?
You
There's so
should
many
just
maybes.
create for
Just make your
yourself
videos.
and
Yes.
to make yourself happy and to do
Live
what
your
you
life.
think is best. And maybe you should make another channel for that. Maybe you have to make
Maybe
another
you
channel for
should.
that. Maybe you
Maybe you
can't do
have
that on your
to.
main channel. Maybe
That's
that
true.
is your main income, right?
Mm.
Don't jeopardize yourself just to do it, but do it. Like, make something new and go for it. Because
You can
if you
always have
have
another
that
road.
drive to create
Mm.
something, then you should create it. And it doesn't have to be over edited. It doesn't
I
have to be
agree.
something that you worked hours on. It doesn't have to be something that you wrote a huge script for.
Mm-hmm.
I barely edit these videos. I don't write a
Barley.
script. I show up and I talk about something that I'm interested in, and I'm happy with that.
Yapping
And
content.
maybe
I
that's
love
just
it.
enough. Maybe you do want to do something that's even more highly edited and more
Go for
intense
it.
and stuff like that. As long as you've got the mental bandwidth for it, as long as you have the time for it, go for it. You might as well. But
X.
don't think that you have to do that either. You don't have to make it perfect. You can
Oh
learn
yeah,
as you
you're gonna go
go.
crazy doing
You don't
that.
have to worry about it being like the most edited and overproduced and interesting and visually stimulating thing in the world. You don't have to attract like the Zoomer crowd. You don't have to use all of those
Shout out to the Zoomers. I do like them though. They're funny.
fancy editing
I'll
tips
say
that you
that they're
find
funny.
on YouTube trying to get more views and all of these tags and SEO, and maybe you just don't worry about that. Maybe you just don't care about that, but you create something and you're proud of it.
Also, by the way, it's not bad to learn these tools. The editing, the SEO, these things can legitimately help you in your career. But that's up to you to figure out if you want to do it. If you feel like you should do it, right? I do SEO all the time. I don't do editing, but I'll do SEO because it's what I know. And frankly, I enjoy SEO. It's nothing that's a sweat on my back. So yeah, definitely, you should look at these tools and see what's for you. Maybe it's not editing. Maybe it is the thumbnail game. Maybe you enjoy making thumbnails. Boom. Hey, also hiring a thumbnail artist. You make fire thumbnails? Come my way.
And that's important and that's valuable. And that's my rant for today.
That's not even a
And,
rant. That's
it
just
kind of goes back
motivational
to something
video.
that Calliope Mori
Bro, this is a motivational video disguised as a rant.
said in one of her songs before, which is start creating, stop tweeting. That was based around the entire idea of
That's real.
VTweeter culture, where there was a lot of pre-debut VTubers at the time, and there was a lot of people who were a lot of talk, and they weren't debuting because they felt like they had to
It's
fill
the
out a
pressure,
checklist
the
of
social
things
pressure.
first.
Yes.
And I think that, in a lot of cases, a lot of people think you do have to do that. You have to kind of hit a lot of checkpoints. You have to hit a lot of requirements before you start creating something. But
No.
you can learn as you go. You can create something
Yep.
bad at first
100%.
and then just learn from it, and then the next
Yes.
one is a little bit better.
Mm,
And by the way, take
100%.
inspiration from people.
And by the way, before I sorry to cut off your by the way, but my by the way is you could always keep learning as you go. I've been doing YouTube for a long time, 10 plus years, 12 plus years, 14 plus years. It's been a long time, right? I've been on multiple channels. I've had multiple channels, and I've done almost every single thing you can think of when it comes to content creation. Just finding my way and finding things that I enjoy. This right here, particularly, I definitely enjoy this. This is just having a conversation, right? As I've lived my life, as I've gone out into the world and I've met people from across the world that tell me their hopes, their dreams, their ambitions, their willingness to do things that make them happy, make them sustain with the one life that we all have, making themselves do the things that they want to do, even if it's hard, even if they don't know what the outcome's going to be, going out and taking that risk. That's that's where it starts at. You have to want to take the risk. If you don't want to take the risk, if you want to stay in your comfort zone, it's going to be tough. And I've even been in that position. Even when it came to VTubing, when I had my actual room. Like in this new house, I had a setup. I had my plaques in the background. I had 3 monitors. I had my PC. I would stream the reactions, and it was a good time, and I enjoyed it. But eventually, I started burning myself out 100%. And then I said, okay, let me take a break. Let me do some meditation. Let me start reading books. Let me start going outside and meeting people. And then I come back and it's like, yeah, now I'm still trying to figure out, okay, what am I going to do when it comes to making these videos? And really, I enjoy making the day, not the, it's like the VTuber clips of the day. I enjoy that series more than daily VTuber clips. One, because it's not every day. I give myself the weekend to decompress from the online, right? I give myself time. But on top of that, now I'm just more happy with myself. So whenever I turn on the VTuber clips, the people that send in the clips, I'm like, okay, let's check this out. They want me to check it out. Let's just check it out and let's just have fun doing it. These videos, these are more personal for me. I'm like, okay, boom, we got another VTuber. So I know the VTuber fans are going to be happy. And then it's a conversation piece. So I get the yap. I love yapping. You know, having conversations with people is honestly the most fun I have in life in general. And some people, they don't like having conversations at all. And I'm telling you, listen to other people' perceptions on reality is some of the most entertaining thing ever, especially if it's somebody that's knowledgeable in what they're talking about. It's just like, damn, I'm learning so much and we're just talking. So, but that's just me, right? Everybody works differently. 100% everybody works differently. But figure out what works for you. That's the most important thing.
And then the next one is a little bit better. And by the way, take inspiration from people. If you really enjoy a type of content, look into it and try and figure out what it is exactly that makes that content tick, what you like about it, what you dislike about it, and how you could do it better than them, maybe. Or take that inspiration from like five.
Do it better than them. That's a big one. Now you're talking about, you know, becoming better than somebody else when it comes to creating content. Now, sure, that's 100% a thing that can happen. Don't get wrapped up into it. Don't try it. Like some people, it's naturally a competition. I'm not talking to those people. The people that try and make things a competition to try and make themselves feel better whenever they achieve some type of goal. Personally speaking, it'll only take you so far. That's a very lonely road to climb because you're trying to become the best. If you want to become the best at something, it means proving you're better than everybody else. And it's very lonely at the top of that mountain that people call success. Very lonely. So I'd say be careful with that when trying to be better than somebody else.
Different people, your 5 top creators, and think about their content and what you like and what you actually want to do, and go from there and try and create your own brand and your own identity and be your own content creator, and don't
Be
worry
your
so
own
much
boss.
about what if people don't like this, or what if this isn't right for VTubing,
There's an
or
audience for
what if
everybody.
any million of things.
There's an audience
Just
for
think about
everyone.
you, think about what you want to make. This is content creation. Let's be honest, it's not the best job in the world because it's so fickle and it's so quick, and it will only last a few years at most, because most content creators, they, if they hit it big, they're big for like 3 years, and then there's the next crowd is in, you know? So you
I think like it is. I'll say this, man. When it comes to that conversation, right? Blowing up and becoming big. Let's use somebody in real life as an example. Kai Cenat was the most subscribed Twitch person, right? Before that, it was Ludwig, right? And now it's not Kai, but it's is it Queso? Oh no, it's I don't think it's Queso. It's I can't remember who it is right now. Jinxie, I think it's Jinxie, right? And then one day it'll be somebody else. Does that mean what Ludwig is doing right now because he was the first like the most sub many years ago? Does that mean his life is no longer important, or does that mean he doesn't exist in the aspect of content creation? Absolutely not. He is still living in his life and he's still very successful with what he is that he's doing it. The most important thing is just enjoy what you are making. So even if you do hit it big and become very popular in something, if you don't really enjoy what that is, like yeah, whenever that fame goes away, you might just crash and fucking burn because it wasn't something that you were very passionate in. but it was something that you were very good at. So yeah, you're very good at it. Now somebody else is better. That might hurt you. That might hurt your ego. We all have an ego. Every single human being has an ego, right? If your ego gets hit by somebody being better than you, that's something you got to resolve within yourself. That's something you need to figure out for yourself. Things come and go, but your life will continue on. So yes, continue making your content. Continue making your videos. Even if you blow up and you're no longer number one, as long as you enjoy what you're doing, as long as you have a fan base around you, your life should be completely fine. But I'm not living in your shoes. It's up to you to tread that journey alone.
You have
Or
to
with
enjoy it.
friends. Have
You have to be
friends.
doing something that you
Friends will
love,
help you survive, for
something
real.
that you're passionate about. If you want it to continue, if you want it to be something that's really important to you in your life, you have to love it. Because if you don't love it, then there's really no point in doing this. There is no points in doing this if you're
Yeah,
not enjoying it, if you're
that's
not
true.
creating and learning.
That's true. Some people want to do it just like to become famous, or they want to do it to, have financial freedom. But if you don't enjoy what you're making, even if you find this financial freedom, you're going to be fighting for it because there always is going to be the shiny new content creator on the block. It just happens.
Learning and
It does
experimenting and
happen.
moving forward.
Mm.
Just
Moving
be
forward, I love that.
yourself. Do what you want and
Move
be
forward.
your own favorite content creator and don't overthink your own content. Even if it's simple, even if it's silly, just do it. Just
Just
go
make it
for it.
yourself.
Trust
Yeah.
me.
Great video. Absolutely great video. Great conversation. Stop overthinking VTubing. Yeah, I enjoy listening to Cozy. Like I said, man, this is just a motivational video disguised as a rant. I'm really enjoying your content. We need more grounded content creators. Well appreciated. Exactly. There is an audience for everything. Absolutely. And it looks like a couple of these people are also VTubers. So that's good. We have a group of VTubers that are willing to have these conversations and these topics. This is absolutely good. 100%. And this was only 3 hours ago. So yeah, this is dope. I enjoyed this video. I don't think VTubing, like I enjoyed having my V2 model, and even from time to time, I think about jumping back into the V2 model. So, in the future, just not right now. Right now, like financially speaking, I don't have the finances to even recreate what I had a couple months ago because like my PC burnt out. Need to get a new PC, but I'm definitely down to do it later on in life. You can do anything you want in this life. And not everything has to be right now. You have time. Enjoy the time that you have until then, until you reach whatever milestone or goal that you want. Just have it in sight, but try and enjoy it every day until you get there. All right, great video, man. This has been your boy KhunShawn. If you enjoyed, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button if you're new, and I will see you guys on the next one. Bye bye.